which we're concerned is going to get worse as lockdown eases. We're in the middle of kitten season, so we've got kittens coming out of our ears, and unfortunately we are ending up with animals like Nancy and like the kittens you just met because people just can't look after them at the moment.
And you're doing a big campaign with celebrities and the government. What's that about? Tell me a bit.
Like little Nancy here, we've actually got more than 6,000 animals in our care at the moment. If they do want to buy, do lots of research, make sure that you see your puppies and kittens with mum, and also use our puppy contract or our kitten checklist that are available online to help you buy a happy, healthy animal. But the main thing is, if you're concerned about anything,
dog, and make sure you have the time and the space to look after them, especially as we start to come out of lockdown and we all return to work. So dogs like Nancy will always have a happy home, won't you? Yes, you will. I think I'm falling in love.
She is perfectly behaved, Frankie. Is she as good off camera as much as she is on camera?
Well, we've had to get to know each other a little bit this morning, haven't we? Because at first it was a little bit hit and miss, but now we're good friends, aren't we? Yes, we are.
Can we, Frankie, just get close in on Nancy, the final shot for us so we can leave? Can we see it?
Oh.
There we go.
So cute.
Is it me? Or is there something about Nancy that reminds me of Matt? Is there something? Is there just something?
I think so.
Are you looking close? I saw you. See what I mean?
I pulled my lead out there. That wasn't a good idea, was it?
It's pulled. See, look,
scared the
this is
nation,
what
number
happens.
one.
That's what happens when you step off your mark, eh? You should know your place.
I'll behave in future.
It's a lovely rainbow you've got behind you.
Good morning. It certainly is, isn't it? Adds a bit of brightness to rather gloomy skies in Wrexham this morning. Thank you very much, Anne, for sending that one in.
Situation in Salisbury as an example, and when it comes to matters such as this, we will play our part constructively, working with others, working with the UK government to make sure that we can keep people safe.
Ian Blackford, thank you very much for talking to us, SNP leader, talking to us from the Isle of Skye.
Time now at 7:26. You're watching BBC Breakfast. See what's still to come this morning. Demand for pets has risen during lockdown, as many of us wanted to introduce a furry friend into the family. But today there are warnings from the RSPCA to be wary of unscrupulous sellers.
More on that after 8:30. Now, though, it's 27 minutes past 7. And time to talk to Matt, find out what's happening with the weather. Hey, that lightning bolt's nothing compared to the one... Oh, that is the one in New York. I thought it was somewhere else. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm glad I've pleased you.
Yeah. I thought I'd show you some more images, some stills, spectacular thunderstorms over there in New York yesterday. Heat and humidity combined. Some of those lightning strikes, of course, hitting the Hudson as well as the Trade Tower. We will see some lightning across some parts of the UK, we reckon, this weekend, particularly.
Thank you. I am holding back the tears. This is difficult, but thank you.
Take care, Simon.
Thank you.
A few minutes to 8 is the time. We're talking to Matt this morning, finding out what's happening with the weather. And that's a gorgeous bit of sunshine. We saw some sunshine, actually, when we were talking to Simon there in Southampton. There's a bit of sunshine behind him in the garden. How are you, Matt?
We did. I'm very well. Very good morning to you. We all need a bit of sunshine every so often. Sometimes it's just hiding behind those clouds, but it will eventually return. And there's plenty of those clouds hiding the sunshine. Next with Naga and Charlie.
The future for cinema, whether people are going to go and see the movies.
Of course we can in some of them, can't we? 8:30, that's coming up. And now we're going to talk about the weather. We've seen some dramatic lightning bolts. Oh, you've got another picture. This is a different one. It really has been impressive, hasn't it, Matt? I mean, OK, here's a question.
Go on, then.
OK. Why do some lightning bolts look bigger than others?
I suppose it depends how close you are. And it also depends if you've got any rain over the front of it as well. So if you've got any rain, of course, it'll sort of weaken it a little bit and make it look a little bit further away. But very impressive scenes across New York yesterday. We saw the footage of that lightning strike very close to the Statue of Liberty. Here we are at the One World Trade Center as well, taking a direct hit. Those storms continue to rumble away through the rest of today before clearing. Here we could see a few in the year. Have a good day.
Hello, this is Breakfast with Naga, Munchetty and Charlie Stayt.
Good morning to you. It is 27 minutes past 8. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on Breakfast. Our top stories is more and more, or one of the stories we're covering, more and more of us wanted to buy a pet during lockdown. Demand in England has surged by 50%.
Charities, though, are really concerned that some animals could be abandoned, warning people to be aware of unscrupulous sellers. Let's go to our reporter Frankie McCamley, who's at an RSPCA rescue centre in East Surrey for us this morning. Introduce us, Frankie. Who can we see right next to you there?
Well, good morning to you. We can see some little kittens who actually don't have names yet. These kittens were abandoned just a few days ago and left outside a veterinary centre, one of many that this charity, the RSPCA, say are coming into their shelters, and their shelters are now bursting at the seams with pets that have been bought or abandoned during lockdown. And celebrities and the government trying to warn people of the dangers of buying pets during lockdown. So yes, these pets were abandoned just a few days ago. Charity is doing, it's joining lots of other charities across the country and celebrities.
So this is Nancy. Nancy is a French Bulldog. She's very recently come into our care. Unfortunately, what is fairly typical of her breed is she does have a lot of serious health problems. So she's just had some major surgery to help her breathe. Dean Amanda Holden. And the whole idea about the campaign is to raise people's awareness that there are sadly deceitful sellers out there that are willing to put profits over welfare, and if you're not careful you will get caught out and you could end up with a cat or a puppy that has serious health problems and potentially serious behaviour problems. Make sure that you get to know the person behind the pet, ask lots and lots of questions, and just basically making sure that you see mum, that you see litter mates together, and if something doesn't feel right, walk away, because you know the person that is selling you your potential pet should be willing to answer lots and lots of questions, and they should be asking you as many questions as you want to ask.
Wonderful. Thank you ever so much for joining us, Sam, and thank you for joining us, Nancy. So what animal lovers are saying is make sure you do your research so more little dogs like Nancy don't end up without a home. Oh, I think I'm falling in love here this morning.
Frankie, can I just ask, do we know, I'm not sure if I missed it, do we know about Nancy's story? I mean, do we know what happened with Nancy?
Yes, so Nancy was had a home, and the owner realised that they couldn't look after her anymore. There were too many high vet bills, so they brought her here, and it's common with a lot of French Bulldogs, Sam tells me, that they do. There are huge bills, and Nancy's just had a little bit of surgery. So if we can look closely on her nose, just there you can see some purple little strings. She's had to have some surgery on her nose to make sure she can breathe, but she's all well now, aren't you? And all happy, and we think she's found a home. Is that right, Sam?
We are hoping so, yes. Yeah.
There you go. So it isn't a happy ending in the end this morning.
Oh, that's good, Frankie. Thank you very much. So let's have a chat about this with England's Chief Veterinary Officer, Christine Middlemiss. Very good morning to you, Christine Middlemiss, who is Chief Veterinary Officer who doesn't have a pet. There you go.
That's the thing, though. I mean,
you know, she explained the reason.
Yeah.
Not at home.
Well, during lockdown, I've been really tempted, because you think you have more time at home, or your family does, and then you just think, actually, when life gets back to normal, if and when. I can see Mike nodding. It's true. You got a dog, didn't you? You got a dog not so long ago, didn't you?
Yeah, nearly 6 months old. And I really agree with all those points made there. Get a dog, do your research, get a dog that suits your personality. So we've got a Springer Door. Very lively, but I do like doing running, and cues sometimes have been quite jumpy, so it sort of suits, and it's been great, I have to say, but do your research.
How's he
so I did
settling
the
in?
sport. Oh, yeah, he's settling in really well, thank you. Yes, he can be a bit naughty, stealing food, but apart from that, he's pretty good. Anyway, let's talk about a night of celebrations, in fact, contrasting emotions for football fans.
That's it. We're back tomorrow from 6.
Have a good day.